I will burn their city to the ground. I will find every rat hole that they hide in. And I will drop down enough explosives to scare God on that. It is hunt season in Gaza. And you will all be well fed before this is done.
The war has shown us the brutality of the men fighting for their cause. Israel have created soldiers who are driven by deep governmental beliefs, and Palestine has created a group of warriors who are driven by deep pain. Let's take a look at Hamas and Israel's strongest forces who have carved their names in history. Israel's military wing, called the Israeli Defense Forces, or IDF, is well known for its advanced technology and training. The IDF seldom faces scrutiny for its responses in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Hamas' military wing is called the Izz ad-Din al-Qassam Brigades. These resistance fighters defending Palestinian land. According to Israeli military estimates, Hamas has some 7,000 rockets, as well as 300 anti-tank and 100 anti-aircraft missiles, the commander said. Let's take a look at some of their strongest soldiers who were created in the turmoil of years of brute occupation. Mohammed Deif. Mohammed Deif was born in 1965 in Gaza's Khan Yunis refugee camp and is a notable figure in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. His upbringing in a region riddled with conflict shaped his early life and turned him into an angry individual who wanted to bring positive changes to the society. In 1990, at the age of 25, Deif joined Hamas, a militant organization dedicated to resisting Israelis taking over Palestinian territories. He was a great leader with strategic acumen and quickly rose through the ranks. He was also good at evading capture by always being on the move. In 1995, Israel began a manhunt for Mohammed Deif. They announced him as most wanted man and wanted him dead or alive. Despite the threats, Deif continued to lead Hamas's military wing. He was just as strong and sharp as ever before. Apart from his commitment and skills, Deif's strong anti-Israeli stance earned him much respect from his peers. After 1995, he skillfully survived 7 assassination attempts. The first one was in 1996, when the Israeli soldiers launched a missile on a building that was housing Deif. In 2001, he escaped a car bomb, followed by another bomb dropped on his hideout in 2002. The Israeli soldiers tried again and collapsed another building housing Deif in 2003. Yet, he escaped once again, followed by another similar attack in 2006. His numerous unsuccessful assassination attempts solidified his reputation for exceptional evasion skills, leading his adversaries to dub him the Cat with 9 lives. But in 2014, in a tragic airstrike, Israeli soldiers took the lives of Deif's wife and 2 innocent children. Despite the loss, Mohammed Deif continued fighting for his cause. A notable achievement is the Al-Aqsa Intifada, or Second Intifada, in 2000, and the capture of Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit. In October 2023, he delivered a message to his enemies and the world and declared the beginning of the Operation Al-Aqsa Storm. In light of the continuing crimes against our people, in light of the orgy of occupation and its denial of international laws and resolutions, and in light of American and Western support, we've decided to put an end to all this so that the enemy understands that he can no longer revel without being held to account. Yahya Ayyash. Yahya Ayyash was born in the late 1960s in Nablus, West Bank, and faced the challenges of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict during his upbringing. His parents, especially his hard-working father, instilled resilience and determination in him, which became his source of inspiration in later years. From a young age, Ayyash showed a talent for science and technology. His curious mind was always experimenting with gadgets, and he soon turned it into a skill to free Palestine. In the late 1980s, Ayyash became a key figure during the First Intifada. Hamas recognized his technical skills and guided him to specialize in bomb making, turning him into a lethal force against Israeli occupation. His skills earned him the nickname the Engineer, but his journey to free Palestine brought him losses too. He had to cut all ties with his family and move away from home to protect them. In the 1990s, Ayyash's bombs became increasingly sophisticated, targeting Israeli military installations, buses, and public spaces. Israeli authorities launched a manhunt to capture Ayyash, but he escaped every time. In a secretive operation in January 1996, the Israeli agency Shin Bet found a link between Ayyash and Osama Hamid, his childhood friend. He threatened Hamid to cooperate, hid an explosive inside a phone, and had it delivered to Ayyash through Hamid. As Ayyash used it to communicate with his family, Shin Bet exploded the phone, taking his life. Even though Israel tried to cover it up, rumors began to circulate about their involvement in his demise, and the truth eventually came out. It was also speculated that Hamad had received help from Israel to remain quiet and had fled to the United States. Hundreds of people joined his funeral to pray for his departed soul. Ayyash was eliminated from the face of the world, but his legacy remained and inspired many resistance fighters in the years ahead. Adnan Ah Ghoul. Adnan Ah Ghoul was born around 1962 in the Gaza Strip. He became a notable figure in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. His early life was marked by poverty and violence, and it fueled his desire to fight against the injustice he and his people faced under Israeli occupation. Adnan Ah Ghoul joined Hamas in 1988 when he was 26. His skills in explosives and weapons development led to his rise in the organization, and he quickly became a valuable asset. However, he had to live his life in constant risk of being attacked or captured, and he had to hide his identity at all costs. In 1995, Al Ghoul planned and implemented the Beit Lid junction bombing that claimed the lives of 20 people and injured many more. He was also behind the 1996 attack at the Dizengoff Center in Tel Aviv. He lost 2 sons in airstrikes, and it solidified his hatred against the injustice. Israeli forces launched numerous operations to capture him, but they failed every time. Al Ghoul reportedly attended a meeting with Hamas members on September 26, 2003, when Israeli soldiers bombed down the house to eliminate him, but he survived the attack. The Israeli Air Force found the opportunity again on October 21, 2004, but he couldn't survive the airstrike this time and met a tragic end. It's a new crime committed by the Zionist occupation government against one of the leaders of the Palestinian resistance, said Moshe al-Masri, a spokesman for Hamas. Some remember him as a ruthless assassin, while others remember him as a martyr who gave his life for the liberation of Palestinian people. Ahmed Jabari. Ahmed Jabari was born in Gaza City in 1960 and belonged to an activist family. He studied history at Gaza's Islamic University. After he graduated in 1982, Israeli authorities arrested him for his ties to the Palestinian militant group, Fatah. After 13 years in prison, Ahmed Jabari switched allegiance from Fatah to join Hamas with the influence of Abdelaziz Rantisi, Nizar Rayyan, and Salah Shehadeh. After his release in 1995, he began managing the charitable efforts and finances for Hamas. Jabari planned suicide bombings during the mid-1990s. The Palestinian Authority noticed his activities and arrested him in October 1998. They suspected him of orchestrating a bus attack. He remained in prison until late 1999 and was released after that. Jabari played a crucial part in Hamas operations during the First Intifada. When Mohammed Deif was injured in an Israeli airstrike in 2002, Jabari stepped in as the commander and operational head of the military wing. During the Second Intifada, Jabari led the Al-Qassam Brigades, which was Hamas's armed wing.
Jabari was the chief of the Al-Qassam Brigade for 8 years, work that involved coordinating Hamas's military wing.
In August 2004, an Israeli airstrike on his home took the lives of his son Muhammad, brother, and 3 cousins. Jabari appeared in a 2005 Reuters interview and spoke strongly in favor of freeing his homeland, dismissing negotiation and diplomacy. He was also behind the capture of Gilad Shalit. who was kidnapped in 2006. Jabari joined the political bureau of Hamas in April 2012 and maintained ceasefires and restraint of rival militant groups.
He also led negotiations that ended with the release last year in Cairo of the Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit.
He survived 5 assassination attempts by Israeli soldiers. But on November 14, 2012, an Israeli drone took his life.
Ahmed Jabari was traveling in his car in the Gaza Strip when it was hit. The Israeli intelligence service has confirmed it carried out the attack.
Thousands of people attended his funeral to pay final respect. The brave soldier was laid to rest at Sheikh Radwan Cemetery in Gaza City. Salah Shehadeh. Salah Shehadeh was born on February 24, 1953, in Gaza City. He joined Hamas in 1987 and soon became a key figure within the ranks. During the late 1990s Al-Aqsa Intifada, Shehadeh took care of the production of Qassam rockets and orchestrated many offensive and defensive strategies. In 2000, Israeli forces captured Shehadeh and sentenced him to 12 years in prison. But he was released in 2000 through a prisoner exchange with Israel and Hamas. He then resumed his activities of rocket production and coordination. Shehadeh strategically placed rockets in residential areas, bringing in a major win in the war for Palestinian freedom. The use of Qassam rockets achieved their purpose and caused widespread fear among the opponents. Shehadeh was also adept at sneaking military equipment into Gaza through a network of tunnels connecting the region to neighboring countries. These tunnels served as a lifeline for Hamas, as they ensured a steady supply of weapons, ammunition, and other military equipment. On July 22, 2002, the Israeli Defense Forces targeted his house with a 1-ton bomb, resulting in a devastating explosion that claimed Shehadeh's life. His wife, daughter, and 7 members of a neighboring family also lost their lives in this inhuman attack. Israel knew the wife of a senior Hamas militant was with him when it decided to kill him, but went ahead with the airstrike anyway, the Air Force commander said today. Even though Shehadeh's wife was in the area, we carried out the attack, he said. Human rights organizations labeled it a war crime, and the incident gained heavy criticism. As part of the Gaza truce between Hamas and Israel, Hamas has released a few hostages in November 2023. Let's take a look at Israel's strongest and sharpest soldiers. Itzik Bazuka-Shvili. Chief Superintendent Itzik Bazuka-Shvili and his daughter Liel are well known for their brutality in the history of Israel. Their tale of facing a tough situation on the Gaza border during an attack still makes rounds. They were quick to respond by using their quick reflexes and precise sniper skills to fight armed militants at Kibbutz Re'im in October 2023. They managed to save not only their life on that day, but also the lives of 5 innocents. During a confrontation with the enemy, Itzik decided to move alone to protect his daughter. Unfortunately, he was struck down by a rocket-propelled grenade. He sacrificed himself to protect the others. His daughter remembers the horrors of that day. "We began to just see cars with people shot inside them," she recalled. "We were driving in between bodies." Liel didn't take this for granted. She continued the fight for the cause she believed in. Soon, she secured a leadership position in the Israel Border Police. Liel, who is serving in the Border Police, told the news that he was truly a warrior in his heart. "The fighter that I am today is only because of him." Inbal Liberman. Inbal Liberman is the security coordinator of Kibbutz Nir Am. When the kibbutz faced a heightened danger of rocket attacks one Saturday morning in October 2023, Inbal quickly organized the security team and distributed guns to protect the community. She is adept at leading armed teams and attacking underprepared Palestinians in a fight. In this mission, she took the lives of 5. She saved the innocents after a minute in Kibbutz Nir Am. But despite murdering 5 others, she was highly praised by her community. Ilit Paz, cultural coordinator at Nir Am, describes the attack. "It was amazing. My husband was part of the standby unit that worked to prevent more casualties. They heard the shots and made contact on their own with other members of the standby unit. and with Inbal, and they understood that they were told to be on standby. But Inbal made a decision not to wait and be jumped operationally. In fact, the fact that they did it early prevented dozens of casualties, she added. Captain Cohen. Captain Nehemiah Cohen was born on April 30th, 1943, in Jerusalem. He was hailed as a national hero during the First World War. From his childhood, he was curious and had a passion for music and the military. He joined the IDF in November 1961. He earned 5 commendations and accolades for his duty and integrity to national security. He also received a recognition from the Chief of Staff. In February 1967, Captain Cohen became a paratrooper and joined the Six-Day War in 1967. He led his troops near Kibbutz Zun, Gaza. He endured the heavy firing and managed to penetrate the enemy territory. Captain Cohen lost his life in the battle on June 5, 1967. People remember him not just as the soldier who received the prestigious Medal of Valor in his community, but also as one of the deadliest soldiers who showed no remorse when it came to killing in the eyes of the rest of the world. Corporal Matan Abergil. Matan Abergil was a corporal in the Israel-Hamas war, labeled as one of Israel's deadliest soldiers. He was born in a veteran family from the Hermesh settlement in the northern West Bank. He saved his comrades by shielding them from a grenade. He was only 19 when the attack took his life in October 2023. His unfortunate demise took place right on the first day at war. His opponents threw a grenade into his armored carrier. Abergil shielded his comrades with his own body. The impact of the explosion took his life, but he managed to save 6 lives. Daniel Varak, his co-fighter, was there with him when he met his tragic end. Matan saw the grenade and jumped on us. I tried to stop him, but he was too determined. After a minute, I opened my eyes. He's on top of me, and he says, "I tried to do everything to protect the people of Israel," Varak said. The tale circulates as an inspiration for other soldiers. Abergil believed in the cause, and he was ready to sacrifice his life for it. Moshe Kaplan. Security Chief. Moshe Kaplan was stationed in Mefalsim in 2023, which is a close-knit kibbutz in southern Israel. Kaplan took preparations for a war with his opponents and trained a volunteer security force. The community heard about rising violence and had a serious meeting to discuss security. They strengthened the kibbutz's borders because they knew it was vulnerable, as it was close to Gaza.
We succeeded to do what we were training for, I think, for years. But that's not exactly what we were training for.
On October 7th, things took a dangerous turn when militants attacked Kaplan's car. He quickly alerted the volunteer security force about the attack.
We have those squads in every kibbutz, is to prevent like a small, to intercept a small group of terrorists, maybe trying to do something very pinpointed, not a full military assault.
During the fight, volunteers such as Aiden Kadar gave a tough fight to keep their community safe. After 90 minutes, Israeli soldiers came and took charge of the defense. The quick thinking of Kaplan helped protect the innocence of the community and is a tale that will be passed on through generations. Ashraf. Ashraf started as Israel's deadliest soldier in the Negev desert. He was born and raised in a proud Bedouin community. The tribe played a crucial role in brutally forcing Palestinians out of their land in the Nakba of 1948 to 49. Ashraf joined the Israeli military in 2021 when they welcomed Bedouin enlistment. He earned a place in the Gaza Tracker Unit. After training and demonstrating his leadership skills, Ashraf led the Gaza Tracker Unit, which was the first defense line. He collected vital intel and handled threats in the Gaza Strip. In a crucial incident, when Palestinians tried to take back the division base, Ashraf and his unit fought back. Ashraf continues to fight the removal of Palestinians to this day. The world awaits to witness the outcome of this war as soldiers from both IDF and Hamas fight for their beliefs. There have been thousands of war casualties, and the world hopes and prays for the brutalities to be over soon. Thanks for watching. Let's talk in the comments.